All right, it is a new year, time for the first TBR, and this time we're doing something different. It's not going to be a normal thing, I can already tell, because it's taking a lot of my mental energy, which I can use right now because I have it and I'm excited for it, but the average month is not like that. But for Her Kid, they want you to do a TBR game, and I'm like, you know what? I have some things I need to read this month, but for the most part, I can just let a random generator really take the wheel. And so I'm going to be doing Stephanie's book first, and I'll have her channel and her TBR game linked down below. And it is a mini Star Hop board, which is my favorite of the boards she uses. She uses a much bigger board for her actual monthly TBRs. And so I figure I'm going to, right now with you guys, collect all the prompts and see how many books I have to read this month. Sometimes it'll actually tell us the book right away, and then any prompts I need to fill, then I'm going to, try and figure out my life. And then you won't see that time. That'll just me be going burr at a screen that I normally do before I'm on camera. And we'll see what happens, and I think it should be fun. I think it should be a good time. I'm pretty excited for, just all of the options. Everything's just a bucket of potential at the moment. So let me show you the board we're working with and kind of explain it. All right, as you can see, this is my little spaceship that I can move around. That's why I'm using Canva, because this was the easiest setup I could do for myself. I have a D6 here. You're just gonna have to trust me when I roll it. I'm not gonna move my camera around to show you, but I don't cheat, so we're good there. It actually starts off the board. So it'll be down here, and if I roll a 1, it could land on a star. We have different spinning wheels for stars, moons, and suns, which I know the sun is a star, but it's a specific star. And then we have these wormholes, these black holes. These are the tricky part of the game. If you land on them, you have to go back to the beginning of the board, which, means more books on the TBR, more books that you don't get to control. And also, I chose to make this spinny wheel the spinny wheel of the books I need to read, or they self-destruct, because I feel like I need an extra push to read those. For the most part, in theory, the star prompts are the easiest. The sun prompts are the hardest, I think. It just varies. I think the sun prompts just have the prompt of read a book that's very large and stuff like that. And I also tweaked some of the prompts for just more my reading goals and tastes and things like that. So let's get into it and see what happens. Our first prompt, I rolled a 4. Yes, there you go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, a sun prompt. So we'll go to the picker wheels I've set up, and the third wheel are my suns. So this is what I mean by, just got a lot of more challenging things here. So let's spin it and see what happens. All right. So the first prompt is going to be that I need to read one of my translated works, which is exciting because I have a bunch of them and I'm actually pretty bad at prioritizing them. And actually, I think one of the books I need to shove into this is a translated book for my local book club. I'll check that out and we'll touch base at the end of the video. So let's now go back to our little Canva and let's roll our die. Is another 4. All right, so we've passed the first wormhole, which is exciting for me because that, honestly, I'm really not excited to hit those. And now we'll go to a moon prompt, which is wheel number 2. Let's see what happens. I don't know if there's anything I really don't want to get. I don't know. I think we're pretty good here. All right. One of the 26 and 2026, which is perfect because I know for sure my TBR spin book can work for this because my TBR spin book is in my 2026 and 2026. This is going so well. This is so easy. I don't know why I was so scared. All right, let's do another roll back to this board. Watch me get like a 3. Yeah, we don't want a 3. I didn't get a 3. We're past it. I got a little 5. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Awesome. I think this is good. This is good. All right, let's go get a sun prompt. We're using all these wheels I made too, which just feels like I didn't spend all my time just setting these up for no reason. Okay, let's read this one. What do we got? I really don't think I care. I think actually the one I hate the most is audiobook, which I think is about what it's going to land on. Okay. All right, I have to figure out what I'm going to do for audiobook. All right. Speak it and it shall come into existence, right? All right, last roll. Well, maybe last roll. If I roll a 1, then I'll have to roll again. It's a 3, and this last spot here is a free pick. That was delightful. That was absolutely delightful, and just the right amount of randomness I wanted. So let me stop sharing that screen and let us discuss the TBR for the month after that. Okay, let's do one more spinner wheel, then I'll talk about the other 7 books, and then 8 books on my January TBR, plus whatever I don't finish in December, because I know we all like to start the new year fresh, but like, it's not happening, maybe. That's not happening. But that doesn't mean I don't want to finish these books. So, I think 8 plus whatever leftovers I have is a good way to start the year, and like I have plenty of books around me if I want to add more on as the month progresses. But first, this spinner wheel I'm going to pull up on the screen right now. So 3, 2, 1. Here it is. These are all of my arcs, physical and e-arcs. Let's spin it. Actually, I don't even think it has my Libro FM, but that one I don't care about as much in terms of like getting them read. All right, and here it is, and this is actually the oldest arc on my TBR, so that's like pretty exciting, the West Passage. And so that's what I'm going to be putting on this TBR as well, and that's good. I think that'll be a good time. I'm at least going to give it 150 pages, and that'll decide if I finish it, or if I pause it, or if I DNF it. I think that's a good way to be. And so that's just an arc I wanted to add on. Let's get back to that TBR game prompts though, because I had 3 prompts I needed to fill out, and not including the free pick, but I have, a bunch of other books around, so any of those are the free pick. So starting with the translated, this is going to be The Employees, because that's my local book club's buddy read this month. That's what we're going to discuss, and I believe it's translated from Danish, which is another language I haven't read from this year, which just means like accidentally I've read from 6 other languages, which I feel like I have never done before. I am pretty impressed with that, to just organically do that through my local book club. The other prompt was 26 and 2026. This is going to be the TBR Spin Game book. So freshly read books. She also does a lot of her kid content, but also has a monthly reading challenge and does sprints. Usually it's like the last Sunday or the third to last Sunday of the month. And this was a very open-ended prompt. It was like, it has to have one of these like common letters in the title or author name. And I chose the book that had, I thought, the most. And that is Where the Axe is Buried by Ray Naylor. This is a sci-fi, which I think also works because I do get a sci-fi mood at the start of the year. Like winter, January, February, I'm feeling very sci-fi thoughtful. And so I think that'll be good. This is a political science fiction. And then speaking of another political science fiction, I need an audiobook. And this is also my buddy read for my Patreon, and this is The Dispossessed by Ursula K. Le Guin. I have read one Ursula K. Le Guin. I have read The Left Hand of Darkness. I have been wanting to read another one for years, like literally years, 5 or more years, and I just haven't. I think this is the one I'm landing on. I do remember her writing style being dry for my brain, so I think audiobook is going to be very helpful. So I'm either going to do it all audiobook or I'm going to immersion read it. Probably. It's also how I can most easily get it from my library. So that's The Dispossessed. And so then I just have books that I want to read because I'm just going to read them. I'm going to continue and read Memories of Ice by Stephen Erickson. It's my next Malazan book. It is a reread. I reread the prologue last year and it was so fun. And then life just made it impossible for me to focus on anything with incredibly dense prose for more than 10 pages. Like, it just wasn't happening. So that's going to be an ongoing read. That's not getting finished in January. I also need to read a January release for Herked. And so I have 2 on my TBR. The one that I'm leaning towards is Silver and Blood, which is a romantasy by an author who I've read from before and liked. This will also work well for my Reddit bingo. So like all of the birds, right? They're being hit with one stone. With this book, my friends, we like to read romances every year together. Not every year, like every couple months. And I know as I say this book that I haven't read the first book in the series. They tell me I don't have to. Not that I don't want to, it's just that like I don't have time to read that and this book. But this is the Geographer's Map to Romance. It's an academic romance series. The first one's the Ornithologist's Guide to something. Maybe it's love. I don't really know this series that well. Maybe I'll like it, maybe I won't. I read it with my friends, so, pretty chill. And then the last book that I didn't get to last month, and the new book comes out soon, and it is on my 26 and... No, it's not on my 26 and 2026, but it would have been if I hadn't put it on my December TBR, but didn't get to it, is To Shape a Dragon's Breath, which is a new adult, young adult. It's a Del Rey book that can just be good for everyone. That's a Dragon School Indigenous author. I'm pretty excited about it. And like I said, the sequel comes out like soon. So it would be really cool to like, you know, catch up and read that in real time. I think that'd be very fun. So yeah, this feels like a very attainable one. I'm happy I finally filmed a TBR game. I don't think that's going to be happening very often because it kind of stresses me out, or if it does happen often, it's probably definitely more of a Patreon thing. But I think it was as kind as it could have ever been to me, and I probably should just quit while I'm ahead. Let me know what you're reading, doing, watching this month. And yeah, I'm just excited to start the new year with you guys. Happy reading, and yeah, like, I don't know, it just, yeah. I just can't believe it's the new year. Everything feels so slow and so fast. If you just want to leave an emoji, that's how I end these, to let me know you're here. Leave a star emoji for the Star Hop game. And otherwise, like if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.